So I'm going to show you in this short video how to define where our A points get marked for the curved lines. So we don't want to have too many points because it will give us a jagged line. It's better to just have enough to hold the shape of the line. So to do that, I'm going to use a little ruler, and I'm placing the ruler so that it's from one edge of the neck corner to the other, and approximately at the deepest point of that corner I'm going to put my first intermediate point. Then I place the ruler so that it's between that point that I've just created and the corner of the neck shoulder, and again at the deepest section of the curve, so where it's furthest away from the ruler is where I place my next one. And I do that again on this corner. So centre front of the neck to the first point that I marked on, from the ruler edge to the deepest part of the curve, I'm going to put another point. Where there's curves, we'll do that for each area. So again, if I go from corner to corner, deepest part is here. If I go from that point to the corner, deepest part is roughly where my notch is anyway. So I'm going to use the notch as my guide. That will also hold the shape of the curve. And then here is another one. And between the first point and the corner, probably around about there is my deepest point, and I could possibly do another one at that point and another one at that point. Now you'll see that there's also a bit of a curve here on my waistband or my waistline. So, well, I'll turn it around the other way. If we go from the notch to the corner of the waist, there is a little curve there. So that should hold that one in place. And then again, there's a slight curve just between my centre front and the next notch. So I'll mark that. So all of those points become A points. A is what we would press on our digitising puck, or if you like, the mouse is the other word for it. Okay, so they're all of my A points. The next thing I'm going to show you is, again, marking on each of these letters so that we know what we've got to do. So AB1 is our first starting point, AB for the next corner, ABC1 for our notch, ABD9 for our end of dart cap, ABC1. So each of these points that I'm writing down, AB, ABC1, all the way around, I would use my puck with the crosshair over the point that I'm marking, and then I would key in the actual letters and numbers that I need to write in for the digitising. So I would finish at this point. So starting here on the left side, going around in a clockwise direction and finishing at this point. Before I start any of the outside digitising, I have to do this one first and this one second. So they're the first points that I should mark on, and then I go around, and then after I've finished I would do any internal lines. So here we've got our drill hole, we would key in D over the menu. We would use D on the menu, but press our A key to get it. And then we would put AB in for the notch here. So just the order again, starting with our grain line and then going around in a clockwise direction and then finishing up with our internal markings. Now all of this is on the instruction sheet that you're given, so you can refer to that and it will give you directions on how to prepare each pattern piece for digitising.